Hi guys, it's Ameriie and I'm here with my October favorites. As usual, quite a mix of things. The first thing, this choker. I am loving this choker. You know from a while, I think my last favorites actually, that I'm really into chokers now. The 90s are back. And it was a velvet choker with a little cameo that I loved. This choker here is a thicker choker than the last one, and I love it for fall. Also, this beautiful ring by Maison Kwee, or Maison Kwee, I don't know how to pronounce it. I wore another Maison Kwee ring in a blog post of mine, the Sister Day with Angela, when I went out with Angela. It was the whole getting ready with me video. Maison Kwee rings are so delicate, so beautiful. This is actually a two-fingered ring. It's a claw, so there are two claws kind of coming over. They're so strong and striking, yet very delicate and feminine, and I love the way they look on a woman's fingers. Like, they're made with the woman's fingers in mind, and I just love the line. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous line, and it's at a great price point as well. Too Faced Melted Matte, this is the color Feelin' Myself. I love this color. Side note, don't press your lips together. Put it on exactly how you'd like it. Once it's there and you're lining your lips with the lip gloss type brush, put it exactly where you want it, because there's no coming back from it after that. That sounds really scary, I know, but I love this color. It's just a little tricky with the technique. Once I kind of got the hang of it, it was a lot better. A lot of people like this color too, I think, because this color was sold out for a long time in so many different locations. This color was absolutely sold out, and I actually found it in a kind of an out of the way Ulta. I think it was because it was out of the way. That's the only reason why they had any. And it was out of stock as well online. So it's a highly sought after color, but I think it's because it's a very flattering shade on multiple skin tones. So another one of my favorites, LOLA tampons. Essentially, LOLA tampons are made out of 100% organic cotton. Each box contains 100% natural cotton tampons that are effective, comfortable, and chemical free. No additives, synthetics, chemicals, or dyes. First of all, I didn't realize that the tampon industry wasn't really regulated. Whatever chemical is in that tampon, whatever chemical is in that cotton, your body is going to soak that up. There's no doubt about it. So I went online and I saw an Elle article. Do I need to still keep holding the box? Okay, we're talking about tampons. I'm going to put the box down. So I went online and I saw an Elle article. They were talking to the founders of the company, and they were talking about why they started the tampon company, why it was important to them. That's when I learned a lot about the tampon industry and what they were doing and how it's different. And I was kind of sold already after reading the article, but I still wanted to try them because I wanted to make sure that the absorbency was good, that they were comfortable, the application and all of that. And I love them. I am definitely going to subscribe. It is a subscription service. I usually don't like subscription services because when you don't want to use it anymore and you're finished with it, I like to just be done with it. I don't like someone to keep charging me or sending me things and I have to send it back and all that hassle. But for the most part, we pretty much know we'll be needing these the next month and the month after that. And in the event that you don't need it, you can just easily call them to pause it or stop it or whatever it is. But I really am recommending this to people. Obviously, health is important. Women's health is extremely important. I'm not saying that other tampon brands are bad. You know, if I need one and I run out, I definitely would have no problem using another brand. But I do like the idea of using something that's 100% organic and cotton and not the other kind of like synthetic materials and such. So I will be using these. If you are interested in the tampons, just click in the box below, you know, the description box. I'll have the information there for you. So another one of my favorites this month is Nutshell by Ian McEwan. This is an interesting book. It's an interesting thing that is on my favorites because it's not one of my favorite books of the year, but I can't stop thinking about it. And it's definitely one of my favorite books this month. It's just an interesting concept. Okay, Ian McEwan is the man who wrote the book Atonement. Remember the movie Atonement with Keira Knightley and the young girl, and then it's kind of like World War II, and one of the girls says that the guy, that's right, okay. Something happens at this dinner party and someone is blamed for something that he swears he didn't do, but there's a witness and it's a young girl. And this incident at this dinner party completely changes the trajectory of everyone's lives. And it ruins actually the main character's lives. It's so worth watching and going into. It's so beautiful. I get a little choked up when I think about it. I hated this girl in this movie. Great actress. I hated what she did. Like, it made me so upset, and then I felt like this, and then I felt like this, and I'm not going to give you any more details than that. But wonderful story, beautiful story, wonderful movie, amazing actors and acting and writing, everything. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I'm kind of like, I'm feeling a little bummed, but it's bittersweet with not a lot of sweet. So Ian McEwan is a very prolific writer. He writes literary fiction. The book is not very long. It's like 200 something pages. And it's about a woman who's having an affair. The man is not married, she's married. The story's narrator is her unborn child. So he's explaining to us everything that he hears and understands, but it's not like it's a baby trying to figure things out. Basically, this is a middle-aged man trapped inside of a baby's body. His consciousness doesn't understand certain things, but he understands other things, which is what threw me off about the book. The things that I loved about the story is the voice. The voice is incredible. It's definitely my favorite kind of voice when it comes to reading. And there's a lot of humor and a lot of insights regarding human nature. The thing that kind of threw me out of the story, every page almost, is that I would think, how does the baby know this? For instance, he wouldn't understand certain concepts because he's never seen them. Okay, that's fine, understandable, we get it, he's an unborn child. But then later, he'll make a certain human insight that only someone who really observes humans really closely and probably has lived for a few decades would really understand and pick up on. The baby will have commentary regarding the dynamics between, I don't know, a woman and, you know, her lover or something. But it's like, how do you know this? You're a baby. But then later he'll make a comment about not really totally understanding something, so that detail is lost on him, but this is what he heard. For instance, he might hear a belt falling to the floor and he'll realize that someone's getting undressed. But it's like, well, you hear it, but how do you know what a belt is? You don't really have the concept, especially because when babies are born, like, you know, there's a certain thing of like, space perception. I think there was like an experiment that I read about before. If a child or an animal, if they're somehow deprived of space perception, they can't really tell the difference between an illusion and actual space, like falling off of a step, or just an illusion like a drawing on the wall or on the ground that makes it look like it's a step. So that just makes it so much harder to believe that this baby would know anything. Now, I know it's a stretch already because first of all, we're getting a story from a baby, from an unborn child. We already know this is fiction. But I still couldn't help but be thrown out of the story because there were like discrepancies. Sometimes he would understand certain concepts and sometimes he'd have no idea. There seemed to be no rules. I know it sounds kind of like, well, Ameriie, why is this book on your favorites list? Because it was really good, because I couldn't stop reading it, because I was reading it and I could see it and I could feel what was happening with the characters, and I just really loved it. It didn't make my favorite of the year, but it's definitely a book that I'll remember for a very long time, and I'm also definitely going to check out more of his work because of it. So that's why it's my October favorite and not one of my favorite books of the year. But I definitely think it's worth reading. So if you can get your hands on it, whether you decide to buy it or whether you decide to borrow it from the library via e-loan, you know, I'm always talking about that Overdrive app, definitely check it out. I can't forget it. Mophie charger. I can't even imagine having this phone without my charger. I know it's pretty big. I know it's huge. It's pretty big. You actually can forget how small the iPhone is when you have this charger on it. You take it off and you're like, oh wow, I forgot. This is where we are with technology, like small phones. It's 2016. Phones are small. But the reason why I have this is because it's also a charger. This has 100% charge. And these phones, honestly, they need it. I charge it up. If I need more charge, first of all, I can check the charge here. I don't know if you can see it. Press that button, it'll let me know how much charge I have. Not very much. And if I want to charge my phone, I slide that over and it begins to charge. There's a little charging noise. And then when I don't need it, I leave it. I leave it off unless I really, really need it. And it does protect the phone and it's ergonomic, so when it's in the hand, it feels very comfortable. And for someone who actually usually does not like chargers, I love my Mophie charger. Absolutely love it. Let's talk TV shows. I feel like everyone is watching this show, so I don't even have to explain to you what it's about, but I want to say that it's incredible. When I watched the first episode, I just sat there because I was like, my mind is blown right now. This is my kind of story. I'm loving it. Why don't we have another episode? Why is this not Netflix? And why can't I just keep watching it? I want to binge watch the show. It's incredible. I love it. The revelries, the memories, they were programmed in. I feel like I'm still dealing with machines. I don't feel like I'm dealing with consciousness necessarily, but it does say something about human nature. Like, I was looking at that and I was like, why would someone want to go to a park and do these things? Like, why would they want to go to a park and rape and kill and do all of that? I do understand there's a side to human nature that needs to release aggression in general. In ancient Rome, the Colosseum, entertainment. People need not only entertainment, but there is a certain amount of violence I think human beings have to get out of their systems, whether it's themselves or living vicariously through someone else, watching boxing or ultimate fighting or the Coliseum, like way back in the day. There's something in us that needs that for whatever reason. I don't know if we'll just explode if we don't have it, but it just looks so terrible when you see these realistic looking creatures and you're like, you're spending all this money to go to this park and rape and pillage and kill, be violent. But at the same time, I'm like, well, this is in the far future. This is their version of video games, and that's what we do in our video games, and they're looking more and more realistic all the time. So what is the difference? Is there a difference? Should there be a line? Does that kind of thing encourage dehumanizing one another? Or is that kind of like an outlet and it's a safe outlet? I don't know. What do you think? I'm interested to know what you think about that. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on it. But that's kind of what I've taken away from the show the most so far. And I'm looking forward to watching it. So those are my October favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like it if you liked it. And as a reminder, don't forget to look into those tampons. If they're for you, great. If not, that's fine too. But I still want you to just check it out because I think it really is important as far as our health and taking care of our bodies. So check the description box for those. Please share the video and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye. It was partly in celebration of this lip gloss here. These are the Velvet Lip Glides, and the colors are Danceteria, which kind of reminds me of Mary's song, you know, in this dancery. Danceteria and Dancery sounds like it could have been in the same song.